is. They are just shouting. They are not getting anything out of the whole equation. So this party has sunk so low that they can sit down to accuse me and Kalonzo of wishing Raila ill. Let me tell you, my brother, we are not those kind of people. It doesn't matter who, even William Ruto, we have never wished him ill health. Even Raila, we have no reason. In fact, my prayer is that God gives Raila long life and good health. And I pray to God that he supports William Ruto so that we defeat the two of them in 2027. It will be very, very nice for me. I'll feel very good because we would like to deal with Kenya's problem once and for all. And it's the two characters because they are one and the same. They are looting the country together. All these things that are happening in the country, if it was not Raila support, Ruto would not be doing it. But as wishing him ill, wishing him bad, I'm not the kind of a person. Right. And I'm really not bothered to what is happening to him or where he goes. It's really none of my business.
Let's talk about formation of the next government, 2027.
Yeah.
You say that you will run for president, that you want to form the next government. Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, how do you intend to form the next government if the impeachment was successful and with that it bars you from running for office?
It doesn't bar me from running. That was, the Senate is a quasi-judicial authority. It is subordinate to the High Court. All decisions made by quasi-judicial authorities are subject to review by higher courts. So that decision, we have challenged it in the High Court, okay? And the High Court will listen to the matter and rule one way or another. Depending on the outcome, there's a court of appeal. Depending on the outcome, there's a Supreme Court. The law says, Article 99, that nobody, the right to vie is absolute, and nobody can stop you because of a court matter unless you have exhausted all the remedies available by law. I have not even started dealing with those remedies. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm eligible and I'll be on the ballot unless when we sit as united opposition, the formula doesn't favor me. And as I said, if it doesn't favor me, I'm one Kenyan who has said I'm willing and ready with my supporters who are very many to support whoever we agree in case it is not me. I'm hoping it is myself. What I want to do is to ask that now that the voter registration is going on, I have seen what has happened in the last 1 week and I'm a bit disappointed. And I want to take this opportunity to talk to our young people, the Gen Zs. And I really want to congratulate them for what they did in Odaya last weekend, the TikTokers, and what they did today at a church in Roiro, raising over 16 million to support one of their own. These are magnificent young people. They have such a great resolve for their country. These Gen Zs have made us proud as parents and grandparents, and they have really gone out of their way to advocate for change and good governance. But I want to appeal to them that this change cannot be concluded on the smartphone. It cannot be concluded on TikTok. The actual transformation of this country to get good leadership and good governance will be on the ballot box. And the tool of change is a ballot. I have seen the last 1 week, it's not been very good. I want to ask our young people, the Gen Zs, to know that they have a date with the destiny on the 10th of August 2027 to help this country get good leadership. And they can only do that if they have a vote. Please, they must register. Number 2, it is my proposition and my desire, and I've told the Gen Zs in my party, and there are very many, that I also would wish them to take leadership positions and help us govern this country, to be MCs, to be MPs, to be senators. If they don't register as voters, who will vote the Gen Zs? Their peers. They need, if they want to be MCs, they want to be MPs, they want to be senators, they want to be women rep. I saw a very young girl in Kajiado, 21 or 22, she wants to be women rep. I have seen another girl here in Nairobi called Wanjiko, she wants to be women rep in Nairobi. If the Gen Zs, their peers, do not register as voters, who is going to elect them? So let them, please, Gen Zs, this is a good opportunity for you to participate in bringing the change that you desire. And you must also know that you are the greatest stakeholders in this country because you have longer to live than all of us. Number two, I also want to take this opportunity to talk to the middle class. The middle class, for the longest, don't vote. But when things go wrong, they feel it more than anybody else. The middle class has been incapacitated by the Ruto administration. They are feeling the pinch of bad governance. Their businesses have been shut down. Nothing is going on. There is no money in circulation. And once you destroy the middle class, you destroy the country because these are the drivers of our economy. I want to appeal to the professionals, the business people, the middle class. Please, you can't stay at home and keep on complaining about bad governance. You must also take your rightful place today by going and register as voters and participate in the election and bring the change that you desire by getting the right leadership in place. You must participate in deciding how you'll be governed because the middle class is very important for the country. Because if it is destroyed, there is no country like is happening today. But they cannot just sit back and just leave it to the rest of us, the politicians, and the people in the villages and the people in the slums to do it for them. They must lead the way. They must be active participants of the electoral process, of deciding how this country will be governed. They can only do that if they have the tool of change, the tool that makes that decision, that is the ballot. So I want to appeal also to IBC. It is also slow for one reason. Also, the constituency offices are very far away. The economy is bad, there is no money anywhere. These Gen Zs are not employed. To ask them to spend 100, 200, 300 shillings to go and take a vote is a little bit heavy on them. I would like to ask IBC to consider rolling out the voter registration exercise to the polling centers, where people walk in the morning, go and register and go back home. Otherwise, it's a little bit expensive, and it's part of why we are having that delay. Again, there is also some delay with the machines in terms of the machines being down. Many people are going, they wait for 2-3 hours, they go away. They need to perfect the equipment that they are having so that there is no downtime. You know, things are working because people also want to register and go away so that they make it a little bit easier.
Mr. Gachagua, as we look at 2027 REBC, let's look at the formation of REBC. And the wrangles that existed, we know political parties played their role in the formation of the current REBC. Do you believe that REBC as currently constituted is able to deliver free, fair and credible elections?
Well, I think they will, because they are Kenyans and they also don't want chaos in this country. A free and fair election is a must. And the way the Kenyans are feeling today, any attempt to play around with the elections could be disastrous for the country. I know the other day I said as much, I was taken to task that I'm inciting people. I'm not inciting anybody. I'm just saying, listening to the mood of the country, showing the way people rejected the Finance Bill 2024. They would reject a flawed election 100 times more. And the consequences could be very disastrous. I am persuaded that these commissioners are part of Kenya. And this is their country, and they have no other country. And I have no reason that they will go out of their way to make sure that we have a free, verifiable, credible election. I want to tell the people of Kenya not to be worried that anybody can rig elections. It's very difficult to rig elections. The day electoral laws were amended, that the counting of votes is done at the polling station, made rigging elections very, very difficult. What we need are good agents, quality agents at the polling station, and the polling station results are final. What I recommend, and we want to ask IBC, is to do away with the bombers and the National Tallying Center. It is not necessary. The law as it is today recognizes the constituency as the electoral area for the presidential election. So the presidential elections are announced in the 290 constituencies. The matter should end there. Even you guys in the press room there, you can just add up the numbers and announce the president. This thing of bombers and tallying and transmission is where monkey business begins. The way to have a free and fair election, and we know the results by morning, same day, is to do the presidential tallying at the constituency. Once the elections are announced at the constituency 290, the president will take the results and write them somewhere down. When they come from all other, people will just add, and we know who the president is, and nobody can tamper with that. It is not possible to tamper with 290 tallying centers. But this national tallying center has been the source of our problems since the year 2007.
But the monkey business in 2022 at the National Tallying Center that made you...
There were efforts, but they were thwarted by the portal. But I'm saying that is not even necessary, because it takes 4 or 5 days to ease tension in the country. Let's devolve the presidential elections. The constituency is a presidential electoral area. If this Madeira constituency, where I come from, let whoever has won the presidential race be announced in Karatina. That will be added to Kamukunchi. That will be added to Ndiwa. That will be added to Nyali. And by morning, by 10 a.m. the following day, because the counting of the presidential votes is number 1 at the polling center. Even the tallying, they tally the presidential results first. So it's possible that by morning, more than 240 constituencies in areas that have no challenge with networking, the results will be known. That is a way to deal with this matter in a very nice manner, so that we reduce tension in the country and we lessen room for monkey business or anybody who may want to interfere with the results. So let there be 290 returning officers for the presidential election, so that nobody can interfere with those 290 people, instead of having one person at bombers. And once those results are announced across the constituencies, everybody will just add up the numbers.
But even towards the voting day, there is the registration exercise that is ongoing. There is a new security feature that has been added, which includes the iris. And many are saying Kenyans were never consulted.
Yes.
The previous registration exercise never included the same.
Yeah.
There is a new model. There is a new methodology. What is your response to that?
I think it is wrong for IBC to try to bring a new methodology, because out of the 14 million voters who are registered, are included, it's biometric. So when you introduce the iris, a new methodology, then which is which? Shall you be having two methodology of identifying the voter on the election day? That is creating confusion. And Kenyans were not consulted, and they were also not told why. Biometric has worked and worked well. Why are you introducing a new methodology? Unless you are saying we introduce it for everybody, including ourselves who are already registered, we go back for the iris. Yeah? So I think IBC is creating confusion, and these are some of the things now that are creating suspicion. You know the way this IBC was picked by Ruto and Raila, who are, buddies in the same coalition. Then when you start introducing things that are not clear and are not well reasoned, and they cannot be justified, because are you telling us we are going to have two methods of identification? Why are we having iris for the new voters, yet we don't have it for the existing people in the voters register? I think that is wrong. And I think these are some of the things you may see people are moving to court.
Are you planning to challenge this in court?
Yeah, to challenge it in court. And it will be stopped, because there is discrimination. Why are you having two methodologies? It should just be one. And even if it's there because it's not there in law, there need to be public participation. People of Kenya need to be persuaded as to why. Why are we introducing this new methodology of voter identification? So I think let IBC not try to introduce things that can bring confusion and things that can start bringing suspicion as to the intention of the introduction of the new methodology.
There is also the fact that President William Ruto lifted the vetting exercise in the border counties, and with that there is talk that is one way of influencing elections. Well, so what would be your response to the decision that was made by President William Ruto, first of all security-wise, and the fact that it is thought that that will be used to interfere with the elections?
What President Ruto did for mischievous intentions, he was not trying to reduce discrimination, because he's in trouble from his original stronghold, that is a mountain. He's trying to replace the mountain by northeastern Kenya, by trying to get aliens from Somalia and Ethiopia to come and register in Kenya so that they can vote for him. But he doesn't know what he's doing to the security of the country. As we speak today, people from those areas of northern Kenya are being discriminated in America in terms of visa, because the Americans are not sure that they will not get bad characters. So sometimes William Ruto, because of selfish desire, he exposes an entire region to discrimination, because not many people will be comfortable issuing visas, to people from a region that is on the border and where people are being registered in a way that is not foolproof. I think it is wrong, and it's very untidy. We need to be very, very careful about border security, about the security of the country, about international security, by making sure that we come up with a mechanism on how we vet aliens without discriminating the Kenyan people. And elders have been very useful in the border counties. Elders know who is who. They know who was born where, who went to school. And I don't think elders can discriminate against their own people or harass them or take them through a very tedious exercise. I think we need to consider where we can ask the elders in border counties to carry out vetting exercise to make sure that only Kenyans and people who are born in this country and who are Kenyan citizens are registered.
President William Ruto for a very long time has said that the opposition is rudderless, clueless, and planless, that all you have to say is one term, that in terms of forming the next government, you have no plans for Kenya. You, Rigathi Gachagua, says you are a presidential material, that you would run for office. What is your plan for the people of Kenya?
To start with, before I tell you my plan, I think William Ruto cannot accuse anybody of being clueless, because he's clueless. How do you describe a president who found a working health system and destroyed it in 3 years?
But you're part of it, though.
I'm saying he's the one who is there, I'm not there. How do you call that president? That is clueless and planless. What is his plan? Killing young people and abducting them? You call that a plan? Is that what he's saying is a plan? If killing young people and abducting them is a plan, we have no plan. If turning State House into a center of bribery and money laundering is having a clue, sure, we are clueless. If destroying the university financing method is a plan, we have no plan. If selling away national assets for private and commercial interests is what you call a plan, we have no plan. My brother, we have got a very big plan. But removing William Ruto is a prerequisite to us initiating the plans that we have. One of the things, if elected president, that I want to do from day one is the issue of the pending bills. Let me tell you, the issue of pending bills, Dennis, has destroyed the economy of this country, destroyed business people. People who did business with the government, national government, and county governments. They are owed 800 billion. Their homes have been auctioned, homes are broken down. People who are doing well today are beggars in their own country. Their only crime, they did work for government, and an irresponsible president has abandoned them and started things that have no use for this country. On assuming office, the 800 billion shillings owed to the people of Kenya will be my first priority. I will not initiate any new project until these Kenyans have been paid. And once they are paid, it will have two effects. One, it will give relief to those Kenyans because they worked for it and they need to be paid. Number two, it will be an economic stimulus to the economy. If you release 800 billion into the economy, there will be money circulation in the economy. That is one thing that I want to do. Number two, I would want to dignify government documents. What is happening today? During the time of Mwai Kibaki, a government LPO or LSO or government contract was as good as money. We used to get an LPO for 10 million shillings. You walk to a microfinance banking hall and you come out with 5 million to go and work because they knew you'll be paid and you pay that money. Today, if you go to a bank with an LPO be chased away, nobody can honor, nobody can give you credit. That is based on a government document. We need to dignify government documents. How do you do that? I would order for an arrangement where once you issue an LPO or an LSO or a contract for government, before you release that LPO, you place equivalent of that money into a suspense account in cash so that the money is there, so that once you have done your work, you are paid. What would happen after 3-6 months? The banks will hear of it and then they'll start giving credit to business people. There will be access to credit with ease because we have dignified government documents. Again, my friend, I would like to restore the dignity of the payslip from day one, including yours. Yeah? There is too much taxation on unnecessary things like the housing levy. It is not the work of government to build houses. The work of government is to provide services. Do electricity, water, roads, sewage, drainage, and then houses will come up. Mwai Kibaki, third president of the Republic of Kenya, never did any housing program in terms of government program. But in terms of housing, Mwai Kibaki did it. How did he do it? He opened the bypasses, put good roads, electricity, water, and sewage. The houses came up on their own from the private sector. Mwai Kibaki did housing without spending a coin from government.
But did you not support affordable housing as deputy president?
Initially I supported because I had believed William Ruto that it's a good program to create employment and to make sure that Kenyans live in dignity. Only for me to realize that it was a private thing for making money, for people to supply cement, to supply chuba, to supply mabati. Again, the president had not told me that we will tax Kenyans. He had said we will look for a way of doing affordable housing. Again, when you look at this affordable housing, like today as we speak, all prison land that is very valuable has been taken and being given to private people. Here in Nairobi West Prison, more than 60 acres, worth about 1 trillion shillings, is being given to private developers. And all prison land now is being taken, given to private people to do this affordable housing. It is pure theft of public land under the guise of affordable housing. So, on day one, first executive order, I would scrap the housing levy, and all these houses that have not been completed, they have not been bought, I would hand them over to the county governments. The county governments would run them, manage them, collect rent, and pay back the people of Kenya. I want to tell all those people who are rushing to buy these houses, and I want them to listen to me today so that they don't say I did not tell them. There will be change of government, for sure. William Ruto will be one term. In 2 years' time, he will be out of office. We shall scrap the housing levy and hand over these houses to the county governments. Please don't spend your money on these houses. And if you do, don't come crying to us. The ones who buy these houses will be the last ones to be paid after we have paid the people who have been taxed. We'll start with the people who have paid taxes because it was not voluntary. They were forced by William Ruto to pay taxes. Those ones are the ones who will be paid. The ones who have bought the houses, you'll come last year, it will take 15 years, 16 years. So I want to caution them not to run into buying these houses because we shall terminate this program when we take office. And taking office, we are taking office.
All right. Rigathi Gachagua, the DCP party leader, who says that his plan for Kenya is to ensure that he restores dignity to pay slips, that he will ensure that everything is done right, that the opposition, united opposition, is united, and that anyone who walks out of that has nowhere to go. He will not be a third force, and that there is conduit by the government to ensure that the opposition is divided. Asante sana for having us and hosting us in your home. My name is Dennis Aseto, and this has been a conversation highlighting where the country is, where the united opposition is as we approach 2027. Calling upon you to get out there, if you've not registered as a voter, to go register yourself so that you can have your voice come 2027. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. To everybody that made this production a success, Asante sana. Conversations continue